Okay, so kia ora. I just wanted to do a bit of an update on where I am and what's happening with me. It's been a hell of a start to this year. A hell of a start. I can honestly say I've never ever had a new year that started off quite like this. So I'll go back a bit just to kind of let you know where I am. About 7, 8 weeks ago now, we were given some pretty grim news about my health and how it was going to go. I had been diagnosed with triple heart failure in 3 of the valves. So, and there's only 3 valves there. So the aorta, the main one, or the aorta, the mitral valve, which I'd had replaced when I was when I was only young, 15, 16, and the tricuspid. And what was happening with all of the valves is that they were either opening and not closing, closing or not opening, but each of them were failing. So there was what was called a regurgitation. So cardio regurgitation was happening in all 3 valves. So blood was going both ways. And it was making the heart having to work even harder. At the same time, they also discovered that 3 of the valves, 3 of the arteries, should I say, were clogged. Meaning, I suppose that to repair them would take a bit of work. Because they caught it quite... Because at the time when it started happening, I started retaining fluids. And it was making my breathing really difficult. So initially when I went in before New Year's Eve, I was in hospital. Anyway, they thought at the time that, because I was having problems breathing, I mean, I couldn't walk very far without having problems breathing, I couldn't lay down, I couldn't do much at all. They thought originally that it was respiratory. So when I went in, I was in hospital for a few days. They were giving me asthma stuff, what do you call this one with steam and air in it, and they thought originally that it had something to do with my lungs and my liver, which was showing some signs of damage anyway. When they let me out, they put me on all this medication, and it didn't feel like it was doing anything while I was in hospital. But about a week later, I went to the doctors and said, look, this stuff's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. And I went from being 103 kilos to 127. And my belly was just huge. Like I just ballooned. So my doctor put me into, I was rushed into hospital, I was then taken to cardio, and then they discovered that actually what it was water retention. I was retaining a lot of water, and then they figured out that it was the heart. So when they went through all that, they found out, yep, it's your heart. But my doctor, Jonathan White, kind of gave me the real scoop. He said, like, you're too weak to have any kind of invasive surgery. So any surgery where they'd have to cut my heart open just wasn't going to be a first option for me. Well, that would probably be the last thing that I want to do. And we had three valves that needed replacing, and 3 arteries. Either way, there was no really good options for us. And he was really clear about what it was and what was going to happen and what would need to happen. So he suggested putting a valve replacement in. But as opposed to cutting the heart open, they were going to use what's called a TAVI and put it in by cardiac catheterization. So it's a little thing that they put up through your groin into your heart. They put it into the aorta valve, and it's very much like a stent, if people know what a stent is. Where a blocked artery is, they push a balloon in, they expand the balloon, and inside that goes a tube. When they deflate the balloon, bring it back out again, it just allows it to. And that's fairly much what they wanted to do with the aorta. The problem with that is that it could go wrong. It might not work, and it might go on the table. It could mean that they have to try and do the triple bypass and triple valve replacements, which also could have seen me kick the bucket. So there was a risk, and it was a very real risk, and a very huge risk. And for me and Simon at the time, me and Si were thinking, okay, we're going to wish for the best. But me being me, I wanted to make sure that if something did happen, we were going to be ready for it. So, checking my life insurance, checking that this is done, so that he knows where I'm going to go to, where I want to lie, where I want to, where I want to be, and the kind of things that I want to see happen. But so we went for it. We did it. We went for the catheterization for the aorta valve, and we stented one of the arteries. So, as opposed to needing a triple bypass, we were going to do a valve replacement. And the good thing about going up through my groin and to the heart is that it's apparently I was awake all the way through it. Not that I can remember, because I don't know, I can't remember shit. But today I had to go in and have another echocardiogram. Anybody knows that to get an echocardiogram when you're an outpatient can take months, literally months. Even if you're inpatient, it can take you weeks. But I got called on Friday and today, and the same cardiographer that did my original one when I first went in was the same one that did it today, and she was amazed. So I needed three. I had the one valve done, the aorta. When we looked at the other two valves today, the mitral and the tricuspid, they're fine. They're absolutely fine. They're opening, they're closing, they're doing everything that they were meant to do, and they were amazed. They're absolutely amazed. I said, like, really? So it's there's no regurgitation. Both of the valves, or should I say all three valves now, are working really well. My heart's still weak, and I still need still need to do a lot of things with it. I still need to strengthen my heart. I still need to look after myself. I was 127 kgs when I went in. I am down to 93 kilos now. I'm eating a lot better. I'm looking after myself. I'm not pushing myself. And I told the doctor, actually, when he suggested that we do this, that we try this, that we try the TAVI and that we try the stent. I told him then, as I kind of, that I'd give this the best opportunity. I'm not going to, this is my health, this is my life, and until I was this close to death, it kind of really made me think about what I'm doing. How much I just can't take for granted the things that I've been offered and done. And I've got a really bad attitude about death too, because I can't kill weeds. I don't take life for granted, but I don't know. I just wanted to give this the best try. To the point where this Friday they've asked me if I'd come along to a cardiologist's conference and talk about how it felt. And what were some of the things that were happening before for me, and what were some of the things that happened while I was going through the procedures. But more importantly, some real anecdotal responses to about what happened at the end of it and how amazing I feel after it. I can feel myself starting to put on a little bit more weight, but I'm going to start knocking that on the head too. I feel so grateful, incredibly grateful, to be well again. I know for a fact that if anybody's pushed the boundaries on, trying to, I've had some weird health problems, collapsed lungs, all kinds of things. I should have passed quite a few times, but I don't know. Can't kill weeds. So, how's my health now? It's much better. Much better. My valves, at least at this moment in time, are really good. My blood pressure is okay. It's a bit low. I think, I don't know, but I think my diabetes is all but really gone now. I'm below the threshold for diabetes, but I'm going to carry on with the medication to get even lower. I don't know. So many things that I want to do now, and so many things that I'm thankful and grateful for. And there's always going to be a part of me that truly understands that I don't think all these things are how do I say? I've been blessed, absolutely blessed, and I don't take that for granted. Anyway, I'm going to update my blogs and update my Facebook, so let you guys know what's happening, and I will certainly be around for a lot longer. Okay, ka kite.